Right now, across the United States, thousands of Americans are losing money from their bank accounts without ever knowing how it happened. The money disappears quietly, no alarm goes off, no phone call comes in, and by the time most people notice, weeks have already passed. This is not a rumor. This is not something happening in just one state. Federal authorities and banking regulators have confirmed that a sophisticated ATM scam is spreading rapidly, and it is targeting people who use ATMs regularly, including retirees and seniors who depend on their bank accounts every single month. In this video, you are going to learn exactly what this scam is, how it works, who is most at risk, what steps you should take to protect yourself, and what the federal courts have recently said about the banks and their responsibility to their customers. This information is important, it is accurate, and it could save you from losing money that you have worked your entire life to save. Let us start from the very beginning so everything is completely clear. The scam being discussed here is called ATM card skimming. Now, some of you may have heard this term before, but what is happening today is far more advanced than anything seen in previous years. Criminals are now using devices so small and so perfectly designed that they blend in with the ATM machine itself. These devices are placed over the card slot on an ATM. When you insert your debit card, the skimmer reads and copies all the information stored on your card. At the same time, a tiny hidden camera is often placed nearby to record your hand as you type in your PIN number. Within minutes, the criminals have everything they need to access your account. They create a copy of your card and begin making withdrawals. This can happen at any ATM, at your bank branch, at a grocery store, at a gas station, or anywhere else a card machine is available. What makes this version of the scam so dangerous is the technology behind it. Older skimmers were bulky and easier to spot if you knew what to look for. Today, these devices are paper thin. They sit perfectly inside the card slot. They transmit stolen card data wirelessly to criminals who can be sitting in a car nearby or even in another state. Some of these devices even have small batteries that allow them to operate for days before anyone notices them. Banks and law enforcement agencies have found these devices at well-maintained, well-lit ATMs in suburban neighborhoods, not just in high-crime areas. This is happening everywhere. Now let us talk about what the courts have said, because this is where things become very important for you as a consumer. Recently, there have been several significant legal actions at the federal level, including cases that have moved through the federal court system, addressing who is responsible when a customer loses money due to ATM skimming. The central legal question has been this: if a bank's ATM is compromised by a skimming device and a customer loses money as a result, what is the bank's obligation to that customer? Federal courts have consistently upheld protections under the Electronic Fund Transfer Act, which is a federal law that protects consumers in situations involving unauthorized electronic transactions. Under this law, if you report an unauthorized transaction within 2 business days of learning about it, your maximum liability is $50. If you report it between 2 and 60 days after your statement is sent to you, your liability can go up to $500. If you wait more than 60 days, you could potentially lose everything that was taken. This is why timing is everything. The courts have made it clear that the responsibility to report falls on the consumer. Banks are required to investigate and respond, but only when the customer acts quickly. Several cases have also resulted in rulings that require banks to improve the security of their ATM machines and to clearly notify customers when a skimming device has been discovered at one of their locations. This is a meaningful legal development, and it means that you have rights, but those rights only protect you if you are paying attention to your accounts. Let us talk about who is most affected by this problem. Seniors and retirees are disproportionately targeted by this type of fraud for several reasons. First, many older Americans use ATMs regularly to withdraw cash for everyday expenses, which means more card interactions and more opportunities for criminals. Second, retirees are more likely to receive regular direct deposits, including Social Security payments and pension distributions, which means there is often a predictable and substantial amount of money in the account. Third, many seniors check their bank statements less frequently than younger people, which gives criminals more time to drain an account before anyone notices. According to reports from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, adults over the age of 55 lose billions of dollars each year to financial fraud, and ATM skimming is one of the fastest growing categories within that number. This is not about intelligence or awareness. Criminals are professionals. They design these scams to fool everyone, including people who are careful and informed. Now let us move into what you should consider doing to protect yourself. The first thing to understand is that awareness is your most powerful tool. Before you insert your card into any ATM, take a moment to look at the machine. Gently wiggle the card slot with your finger before inserting anything. If it feels loose or moves at all, do not use that machine. A legitimate card slot should feel firm and secure. Also look for anything that seems unusual above the keypad or around the screen area where a small camera could be hidden. Covering the keypad with your hand when you type your PIN is a simple habit that can prevent a camera from capturing your code. You should also strongly consider setting up account alerts with your bank if you have not already done so. Most major banks now offer free text message or email alerts that notify you every time a transaction is made on your account. This means that if someone uses your card information without your permission, you will know within minutes, not weeks. That speed of notification could be the difference between recovering your money and losing it permanently. Reviewing your bank statement at least once a week is something many financial consumer advocates recommend. You do not need to do anything complicated. Simply look at the list of transactions and make sure every one of them is something you recognize. If you see something unfamiliar, even a small amount, report it to your bank immediately. Fraudsters sometimes test accounts with tiny transactions first to see if they will be noticed before withdrawing larger amounts. Now let us take a moment to clear up some common misunderstandings about this topic. Some people believe that only older or outdated ATMs are at risk. This is not true. Skimming devices have been found on brand new machines at major banks. Others believe that using a credit card instead of a debit card at ATMs fully protects them. The reality is that while credit cards do carry some additional protections, the safest approach is simply to be cautious with any card at any machine. Some people also believe that if their bank is a large, well-known institution, they are automatically protected from this type of theft. While large banks do invest in security, no ATM is completely immune. Your account protection ultimately comes from how quickly you monitor and report. There is also a belief among some people that banks will always catch the fraud before the customer does. Banks do use fraud detection systems, and sometimes they do catch unusual activity. But those systems are not perfect. They do not catch everything. And even when a bank does flag something, they still need you to confirm the details and file a report. You are always your own best first line of defense. Before we close, there is one more thing worth saying clearly. You have earned the money in your account. You have spent decades working, saving, and planning for this time in your life. No criminal with a small piece of plastic and a hidden camera deserves to take that from you. The good news is that the law is on your side. Federal protections are real. Banks are legally required to respond to reports of fraud, and with a few simple habits, you can significantly reduce your risk and protect what is yours. Stay alert, check your accounts regularly. Trust your instincts when something about an ATM does not look right, and if you ever suspect that your card information has been stolen, call your bank the same day. Do not wait. Share this video with someone you care about, especially anyone in your life who uses ATMs regularly. The more people who know about this, the harder it becomes for criminals to succeed, and as always, stay informed, stay protected, and take care of yourself and those around you.